There's tremendous opportunity with shops and uppers, particularly with the new permitted development rules introduced just a few weeks ago. I'm here at our latest acquisition with Ben Howard, the commercial agent who helped secure this deal for us, and we're going to share with you some tips on how you can work with commercial agents to secure your next commercial conversion project. If you're new to this channel, make sure you subscribe and hit the bell icon so you're notified as soon as we upload. We're going to blog this project and some of our other commercial projects for you on this channel. So make sure you subscribe and hit that bell icon so you're notified as soon as we upload. Smash the like button, it really helps us out. And comment, any comments or questions that you have on what we're doing here, leave them in the comments and we'll answer them in subsequent videos. So this is our latest project. It is a shop and uppers, fairly textbook, and we're going to use the brand new Class G to convert the upper spaces into 2 flats. Now I'm here today, I'm going to tell you more about that and the project and all of that later, but I'm here today with Ben Howard from Perry Holt, local commercial agent who helped us secure this project. Hi Ben, how are you doing?
Very well, thank you, Ranjan.
So tell me, one thing I wanted to ask you, because a lot of our viewers are working with commercial agents, and at the moment the commercial property market is quite heated, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of activity in the commercial world at the moment. I think there's this sort of stigma attached to last year where we had coronavirus and it was people deemed it to be a quiet period. High streets are dead. We haven't seen that at all. The whole revitalisation of the use classes that the government introduced last September for commercial has been brilliant. Stuff's going out the door a lot quicker. We're seeing multiple offers on stuff. So, in general, it's a good market.
And okay, so we put in this offer for this property. What many of my viewers ask me is, well, okay, they work with commercial agents, and some people tell me that they find it difficult. They ring them up and they ask for viewings and all of that. And some people find it's difficult to be taken seriously. From the point that people start to interact with a commercial agent or inquire about a property, what do you think are the key points in demonstrating, credibility, I guess? Yeah,
so from a credibility point of view, we like to see, the hunger essentially to get in there and see the property. Some red flags for us as a commercial agent when someone's calling up to book an appointment is they want to see it in 2 weeks' time or they want to see it the following week when we're only on a Monday. Because essentially, a bit like if you want to go book a dentist appointment, you make time to go and see it. We want to see people taking time out of their day and the hunger to go in to see the property because essentially further down the line that then benefits in the confidence in that buyer with us.
That's a very good point. And what about the offer stage? Because we'll get back to the video in just a moment. What is the most exciting opportunity in property right now? And that is repurposing defunct commercial buildings to residential use. Now, most people don't really know where to start, what to look for, and how to exploit these opportunities. And that's why I've prepared 90 minutes of free training for you to get you started on this wonderful journey. You can register for this free training at property-workshop.com. Join me on that free training, and I'll leave you to enjoy the rest of the video. People tell me that they put in offers and then sometimes they just hear blank from the commercial agent, or sometimes it goes to someone who may have offered slightly less money than they have offered. And people find that process a little bit of a mystery. I mean, what are your tips for people when they're making an offer on a commercial property?
So when we get an offer in, there's a lot of things that we like to see. We like to see who's buying it. We like to see the
Why is that important?
Because we want to know that we've met the decision maker. What we don't want to do is get into heads of terms, the deal agreed, 2 weeks down the line and we get the call to say, oh, my director would like to come and see it.
Oh, I see. Yes.
So in a sense, we want to know that the people that we've met who've actually been in are the decision makers. Because the last thing we want to get is tied up to a buyer who really is not actually the buyer who's seen it.
Yes.
And other points are timescales because they're key. We want to see, if everyone's upfront and honest with the timescales, that's great with us. We want to see how it's being financed. If it's cash, we want to see proof of funds. That's also for anti-money laundering purposes as well. And if it's financed, then we want to know how that's being brokered, essentially. Is there a broker involved? What are their contact details? And essentially it just comes back to transparency.
Does cash always trump someone who's doing it with finance?
Not always, no. Because if there's, again, it goes back to the credibility. If the buyer's been upfront and saying that this is how it's been financed, I'm taking equity from X, Y, and Z out of this, because not always is that the property that they're buying is the one that's been financed. They could be refinancing in another investment to release the equity on this. So it comes down to a sense of how that structure is happening. And it doesn't always mean it just, okay, great, if someone's cash, there's no bank who ever could potentially say no to it. But it can help, but that's not to say that if we've got a cash offer and a financed offer, we're always going to go with the cash offer.
Yes. What about subject to offers? I mean, it comes up time and time in commercial property. People sometimes put a conditional offer in, subject to getting the permitted development and that kind of thing. What is your what's the agent's view on those sort of offers?
To be honest with you, when we're acting for a vendor, we're there to do two things: get a good price and make sure that the buyer we're putting forward to the client is going to transact. So if we're getting subject to offers, it's not an issue. Even if the listing's saying unconditional freehold offers we're looking for, that's not to say that we won't look at subject to, because it could be subject to permitted development or a number of other things, such as a measured survey or asbestos report coming back. And as long as we know from the day dot that there is going to be subject to X, Y, and Z, then as long as the vendor's aware and we're aware, then we can manage that process. And it's not to say that that's a put off for us.
Now, have you noticed since the new permitted development rules come in, have you noticed any sort of increase in the number of people on your books inquiring specifically for permitted development opportunities, or hasn't it really hit the masses yet?
No, we've definitely seen an influx of inquiries. But I think the people that are looking into this new permitted development rights know what they're talking about, and they know the permitted development world quite well already. Because everyone's used to hearing office to resi, which is fairly simple in terms of, because the new one, there's lots of regulations around it. And it's not as simple as just going from office to resi. And in my opinion, I think that it's a good thing. There's a lot of high streets out there that need to be revitalised. Yes, okay, in some scenarios it won't work, but I think the people know, or the developers or the investors know where this new permitted development will work well, and there's other areas where it won't. I think it's been a good thing, and we have seen inquiries increase.
I mean, there's a lot of dead space above shops like this. This is formerly office spaces, but people prefer to be in serviced offices, more facilities, more different businesses to interact with and the like, more breakout areas, more trendy, I guess. Yeah. And these sort of spaces just don't have a commercial use anymore.
No, they don't. Sometimes with a lot of businesses, they want to see the high street presence. Well, we're above a ground floor commercial unit here. That's got the high street presence, it's got the big window, everyone can see it. But when you're up in these upper floors, no one knows you're there. And as you say, in these particular scenarios, yes, they're a bit of a TARDIS, but really their use isn't quite up to the 21st century as perhaps what they once were.
So thank you very much, Ben Howard from Perry Holt. His details are down in the description below, but don't contact him because he'll be contacting me with all the decent deals. But his details are down there for you not to contact. And we'll be back in the next video. We'll be vlogging this project and some of our other commercial conversions projects as we enjoy this wonderful world of Class G and Class MA permitted development. If you haven't already done so, subscribe, hit the bell icon. And also, we're running a whole series of 90-minute masterclasses to introduce you to what to look for, what commercial properties to look for, and what these permitted development rights are all about, and how you can profit from this world of opportunity that's just opened up. So for the next class, for the next 90-minute free class, just click on the link on the screen below and in the description in the box here, and join us in the next video. See you guys later. High streets across the land are changing forever. Basically, there's an oversupply of retail premises. Shops are closing down, more are going to close down in the future. The government know this, and that's why they're introducing a light touch planning system which allows small developers to easily repurpose these buildings to residential use under a light touch planning regime called permitted development. Now, this is going to be the biggest revolution and the biggest change and the biggest opportunity for property investors that I've ever seen. And this is all coming into effect on 1st of August. So you need to know what's happening and what properties to look for to take advantage of these opportunities so that you can get in there and take that first mover advantage. I've got a 90-minute free masterclass to get you ready for August the 1st. Make sure you join me, click the link below. Whether you're a beginner or expert, we'll get you started.